Hey guys, okay, so today's video I just want to talk to you a little bit about choosing your name. Choosing your name is so important. So if you don't find something you're passionate about or really you feel like, yeah, that's the name, then don't go with it. Don't get stuck with it just because you're in a rush. You don't have to have your name set in stone the first day of your first boot camp, okay, or fitness class. So if you're not sure of the name yet, just go with, like, say me, I would do Danielle's fitness class or Danielle's boot camp. And then when I find my name, boom, add that in there. There's no, you can grow. Businesses are always growing, especially something like this. It's a personal kind of like, you know, your own thing. You don't have to have your name set in stone yet. It's so important to have the right name. Okay, so things you want to think about when you're choosing your name. First of all, is there people in your city with that name already? Okay, so Google. Sit down at the computer when you're choosing your name so you can Google it, see if there's websites already in that name, if there's stuff already in your city with that name, okay? It doesn't matter if like there's 10 billion adrenalines in the world, but is there one in my city? And by me adding extreme fitness makes it a little, ooh, it's on my shirt, makes things different also, okay? So Google your name, make sure there's nothing going on in your city, especially another boot camp that might have the same name, okay? That's something to think about and something that you can grow with. Okay, so you want to be specific on your training kind of so people know, hear the name and they kind of know what, you know, it might be about, but you don't want to be too specific that you can't grow with it. Okay, because you might want to add classes in down the road or have other trainers and they're training through you. Rambo, what do you got? So thinking of that, you want to be able to grow with a name. Like if I went with, say, Adrenaline Stroller Fit, and now I have all my regular classes, I have some, you know, core classes, some high intensity stuff. So if that Stroller Fit was there, for one, men won't really be attracted to it. Two, people are going to think it's easy. And three, people won't really think like, oh, she's got all these other classes, she just deals with moms and babies. Okay, so you want to be specific, but not too specific that you can't grow with it. So think about that. Google the name, make sure there's nothing going on in your city with that name. And you want to find a business name that is catchy, that people want to say, people want to talk about, to be proud they're a part of, all right? Maybe, you know, I always like a one-word kind of name, one or two. Like when people say, oh, I go to Adrenaline, they're not always like, they don't say Adrenaline Extreme Fitness. A lot say just, I go to Adrenaline, and they like that. They feel like it's a tough name, and they feel tough that they go to it. And I also chose this name because it can be abbreviated to AXFIT. So Adrenaline Extreme with an X Fitness. So that's my website, AXFIT.COM. So think of a name that you can abbreviate for web, because no one's going to want to type in Adrenaline Extreme Fitness.com. And adrenaline's kind of a tough word to even spell. So if you have a crazy name that people don't know how to spell, they might not be able to find you online. So something easy to spell, easy to say, remember, catchy. So all those really intriguing names. Think of some names you like, okay? So you want to kind of do something along those lines. And you never, ever, ever, ever want to be negative in your name, okay? So I came across one not long ago that was like, gyms no more, or something about like, you don't need a gym. That to me is a big no-no. You're acting negative, writing your name before people even meet you or come to your class. To me, being a personal trainer and group trainer, I feel like I'm like at the top for being that positive, motivating, like person in everybody's life that comes to me. And if my name is negative, I feel like it's just not a good touch. So I would never have anything negative in your name. Definitely not any swear words, which I highly doubt anyone would do. But definitely not putting down a gym or other classes or saying, even to be like best boot camp. I feel like that's a bit like you shouldn't have to toot your own horn so much. Pick a name that represents you, that you feel positive and passionate about. All right, and you got to remember you want to be able to use it socially. So is it going to be a good name you can use on Instagram, on Facebook? You might want to make t-shirts or hats one day. All right, is it going to look cool on a shirt? Can you think of a cool logo? Here's the picture of my logo that we made. My buddy Jeff made it, and it's a sweet logo, and I love it. So when I think of the word adrenaline, this is kind of what I thought of, like having that heartbeat, okay? So think of how you could turn it into a logo or add a picture around it or some kind of like, what do they call those things that represent like a business, like an icon or like a little, I don't know. If there's, just think of ways that you can add to that name, okay? With either a picture or a little icon or like a little like, whatever. You know what I mean? If you don't, I'm sorry. I can't think of it right now. So rememberable, sociable, abbreviation, web name. Make sure it's available online. So you're gonna wanna have a website eventually. If that name is just taken up, you're not gonna be able to get it. Or if you can add a letter or a word or a number or something, that might help. Numbers aren't always good with websites, but definitely check online, make sure that name is not being used. So you can use either .com or .ca if you're in Canada. So that's my advice. If you aren't sure what, still what you kind of want to do with your name, please email me at adrenalinefit@gmail.com. And I am happy to give you my opinion or advice, tips on maybe a list of names you have set, but you're not sure which one to pick. I feel like I'm pretty good at choosing names, but I'm here to help. So don't be afraid to email me and ask for help, or just leave a comment below and we can all give comments on different names and opinions on it. Okay? So thanks for listening. Hope this helped a little bit to give you some, kind of ideas and make you think a little bit about when you're choosing a name for your business. All right? Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.